wonder if anyone ever calls up them numbers to say the driver was a good driver, or even just to say, yeah, they were all right. I am the Big Daddy, this is Except for Access, that's the M6. Yeah, there's not really a lot on the M6 to point out and say, look at that, it's the M6. What do you want me to do? So the first thing we need to talk about is the fact that my Patreon supporters are assholes. I should explain. So last week, Ryan challenged me to put Star Trek quotes into my vlog and work them in so that technically no one could notice. And given how childish this challenge is, I immediately said yes without even thinking about it. Because of course I did. And upon hearing this, all my Patreons decided to give me quotes to put into the vlog, some of which I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to work into the vlog, but apparently I'm going to try. So we'll see how that goes. And for those of you following along at home, I'm going to put a little ding noise and you'll see the person and the quote in the bottom left hand side, because it's your left, my right. And in other news, it's hot. Oh my god, it's hot. It is too hot. I was dying last night. It's Tuesday, by the way. I didn't film yesterday because it was too hot. And if I'm honest with you, I am a bit tired today because it took me ages to get to sleep last night. It was astonishingly hot in the cab. Obviously, even if it is hot outside, it can be even hotter in the cab because you've got the engine underneath, and unfortunately all you can do is just sit in the sweat box because hot air rises. I can air change the laws of physics. That's one. It's time for the sponsor, and just before you skip, I know that you want to, just hold one, just hold a second. I don't normally do sponsors, and that's not because I don't get sponsorships, it's just because the ones that I get, I just don't care about. They just don't seem interesting to me, whereas this one actually caught my attention. Zeus is a digital freight platform focused on cutting costs and making hauliers more efficient through its digital software. And you're probably thinking, well, what does that actually mean? Basically, it's like Tinder for truck drivers. That's a terrible example, it's not like that. Essentially, they find backloads for companies. It's a bit like on Euro Truck Simulator where you go scrolling through the jobs and you just click one and then it just automatically just gives you the job. It's like that, but real life. And they've asked me to mention a few things, like the fact that it's more eco-efficient and you get paid within 48 hours and the app's very fancy and stuff, and all these fancy, amazing things. But for me, the main thing is it's backed up by real people. It's not just an app where you click on it and it's just a computer dealing with it all. These are actual people who are finding backloads, and you can actually call up and say, listen, I'm taking this job to X, have you got anything running out of this place? And they can go and find it for you. This is not just for owner operators, it also works for small companies as well. So them times that your planner's off trying to find you a job and you're sitting in an industrial estate just twiddling your thumbs and just trying to work out when you're actually going to get going, send in this link. That way you can get on the move quicker, you can get more pay, and everyone's happy with you. Brilliant. To get started, click on the link in the description, or you can follow this link that's just here. I think that's about right. Yeah, just about. But anyways, on with the video. We're about 5 minutes off the site, and I've just called the customer up, and he said, have you been told the directions? I said, no, I've got the postcode, but that's pretty much all I've got. And he says, right, you should have been given directions. The village might be shut. How the hell is the whole village shut? How small does a village have to be that they can shut it? Now, I think the lane might be tight anyways that we're going down, but From what I gather, if we have to go a different way, it's even bloody tighter. And I know what you're thinking, the riskier the road, the greater the profit, but that's not actually true. The reality is we get paid on Ks, and if it takes us X amount of Ks to go around somewhere, we're not really getting paid for that. So, you know, we want the most direct route there. And I'm hoping to get this off pretty sharpish if I can, because I'm currently south of Birmingham-ish, kinda, and I've got to go and pick up something from somewhere a little bit further south of here. I am not good at explaining, am I? Either way, whatever it is going to Graze, which is on the other side of London, and see how many hours of driving have I done so far. I can say I am not loving this whole thing of going to London every single day. We will talk about London more later in the week, but for now, all I can say is I am not enjoying working around London. He said it was down here, and there's like a blue sign. This might be the bit that you're saying was closed. So I'm seeing horses on the right side here. And horses mean horse riders, which mean customers. So I think it's up here on the right side. Oh, and I see a blue sign as well. And more importantly, I can see marks on the ground from the tippers. Nice. Well, this actually isn't that bad. Come on, get some traction. Oh, I hope this is not going to go into a dirt track or something. It looks like it might be. Come on, get some traction. Get some traction. Oh my God, this is a field. Oh yeah, this is going to get bogged down. Oh. Now I know it's nice and dry, but still, this truck at the best of times isn't the most, even on tarmac it struggles sometimes. Come on, come on, come on. Come on. You're okay. You can see that pile off to the right there. That's where we're going. Now, where I've just been, I know I'm going really far away from it, but I do have my reasons. I'll explain in a second. If I stop or put too much lock on, it's basically, it's game over. So, yeah, I have to keep it I have to keep it going best I can do. Yeah? The heat's making my eyes sting. But don't worry, it's ejecting some heat off the PTO there, but still. Alright, the sun's starting to come out now. What I'm going to do is, as it comes down, I'm going to let it shove me forwards. If it will. Which it is not. Oh crap. Let's try it in third gear. have to stop. It's going to burn the clutch out. Fucking shit. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm stuck again. And yeah, resistance is futile. I'm not getting out of this. Really? This is what's going to pull me out. How embarrassing. It's coming out nice, eh?
That little thing coming around the corner and thought, that f***ing pull this out.
Oh no, my exact words were, and it's on camera as well, how embarrassing. So, I'm currently near Stratford upon Avon, and I'm heading over to Bromsgrove, or near it, and it wants me to go up to the A40 and then across like that. Don't really know why. Thing is, I'm supposed to get from here to Bromsgrove and then over to Graze and then find myself somewhere to park up. And I'm supposed to do all of this within 4 hours. The thing that the planner forgets is I'm a trucker, not a starship captain. Also, Philip, I'm reasonably sure, now I'm not a big fan of the original series Star Trek, but I'm pretty sure the words "I'm a trucker, not a starship captain" has never been said on there. So I feel like that one was made up. However, I've done my due diligence. I've actually used it. So yeah. I feel like I'm just done with the M25. London in general is a pain in the backside. I'm sure they don't like truck drivers. Now I'm heading to a truck stop, and not only am I heading to a truck stop, my boss is paying for it. I know, I had to kind of pinch myself. I've come along the M40 and I've joined the M25 and I'm now kind of the north part. I'm heading to Graze and I can't quite get there, not on the time that I've got. And then from there, I'm supposed to be heading all the way down to the very south of the M25. Issue is there's nowhere to park up. You have to go way off the beaten track, try and find anywhere free. Last week I had it where I had to stop somewhere an hour short because I just couldn't get anywhere. There was nowhere I could possibly get to, and the only place I could find was an hour out of the way. Nothing I can do. Now don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are places around here that you can go to. I mean, I just don't know where they are. Neither does Mark, because we don't do this area. Basically, given the option between having me an hour out of my way or paying 35 quid, I think it is, to let me stop in the truck services, he's going for the latter option. Yeah, and fair enough. Now then.
Yeah, what time are you up in the morning, mate?
Don't know, like 4 maybe.
4, yeah?
Yeah.
You snap account?
No.
Cash or card, mate?
Card.
Right.
Yeah.
Debit, yeah?
Yeah. Well, Google Pay, contactless, yeah?
Yeah.
But does that come with food?
Huh?
Does that come with food?
Yeah.
No. 41 bloody quid. Oh, 41 pounds.
What time did you say it's on?
Should be about 4 o'clock, something like that. Yeah.
4 o'clock right hand.
Yeah. Fuck me. 41 fucking quid. That's fucking extortionate. it is hot. Holy shit, it is hot. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet on the vlog this week, but it is hot. Like, unacceptably hot. And even though it's Thursday, yes, I didn't record yesterday at all. It was actually too hot to record. I was dying. I'm still pissed off about having to pay 41 quid for a night stay. And I think I said on the recording, I hope the food's good. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. I got a chicken burger and it had the tiniest bit of chicken in there. Honestly, I nearly recorded it, but I was just like, I was tired and I was hot and I was pissed off. I was just like, no, I can't fast. But this, like, damn, the bun was like this big. And I was like, oh yeah, fair enough. That's awesome. Tiny bit of chicken inside it, like this. And it had obviously been cooked like 15 times or kept on heat because the damn thing was like, honestly, it was like a hammer. I could have, if I'd hammered part of the dashboard, I'd have dented it. And in fairness, I would also suspect that the dashboard had more flavour to it. And I know I seem like I'm being overly harsh, but I got charged 41 quid to get jammed in with other trucks, so I couldn't even have my engine on because I had a truck on that side, a truck on that side, I had a truck in front of me, behind me. I literally, like, and not even just like a little bit. I mean, the guy, I could shake hands with him out the bloody window. And all of that for 41 quid. Honestly, I genuinely think I got fleeced. Well, actually no, my boss did because he paid for it. So the trip from London was fairly uneventful. I got around, got back up to the north. It's still hot up north. Oh my God, it's fucking hot. I don't know if I've mentioned this yet. It's hot. Now the good news, and there is some good news, is that I'm not having to work around London, which is very good news. I have not enjoyed working around London. For starters, it's expensive. Even just getting a coffee just seems more expensive. And considering that services are already expensive, being more expensive is just plain unacceptable. I know what some people are going to say, because the reality is London is not made for trucks anymore. It's made for cyclists and for pedestrians, that's it, which is fine. That's fine if that's the way they want to do it and the London Mayor wants to do it. That's no sweat off my back. But I think they still need to realise London, being quite a big place, still needs to get deliveries. And there is quite a lot of anger directed to the Mayor of London, who seems to be bringing all of these policies into it. And I know I don't normally get like political on this. I do have a point, and I'll come back to that in a second. I know I've said that a few times, but I do have a point. The problem is, they treat trucking as an industry, which, yes, okay, fair, it is an industry, that's fine. But they forget it's also the individuals. It's all of the different companies. So take my company, for example. We've had these runs down to London, down around London, going and delivering stuff to the docks, then collecting stuff out of a quarry at the south end of London. And the past 2 weeks, it's caused issues. I've lost out on driving hours. It's now costs 41 quid for that, plus I've had to go over the Dartford crossing, so that's more money. And all these things have added up. And if it was me, and I was running the company, and I'm sure my boss is probably thinking the same thing, why bother? Why bother delivering stuff down there when we can deliver stuff to Newark, or we can deliver stuff to Cornwall, or we can deliver stuff to Inverness, or whatever, wherever, it doesn't matter. We can go and deliver to wherever, and it's not going to cost us all this money. Now, don't get me wrong, and no, I'm not an expert in these things. The way I look at it is, now that we've got these companies not wanting to go into London because of all the hassle it causes, stuff like that, and there are going to be drivers, certain drivers, that only want to work for these smaller companies like I do. I don't want to work for these bigger companies for whatever reasons. And, you know, each to their own. Some people like working for big companies, some people don't. Here's my maybe unpopular opinion. Maybe it's not about looking after the drivers. Maybe it's looking after these smaller companies. The reality is, until they suddenly realise that they've messed up, there are going to be drivers, there are going to be companies out there screaming the name of the Mayor of London in frustration. Come Khan! Sadiq Khan is the mayor of London, and it's taken me 3 days to set that joke up. I'm quite pleased with it. So I was going to record this afternoon, but not here. I was going to record when I was getting loaded after I've tipped this. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get this tipped tonight. It'll be now the morning, because traffic, you know, just constant traffic, and it now says 5:30, which is very frustrating. And this little loop that I've been doing from Preston down to Runcorn, then over to Sandbach, and then back up, and then round and round and round. I was hoping to get a good couple of runs in throughout the day. Unfortunately, it looks like I can only get one in, and since tomorrow's Friday and the traffic will be 50 times worse, at best, there's no way I'm doing this. The sat-nav wants me to take any route but this. I mean, it has ticked up in time, but my thoughts are, because it's currently 4 o'clock, I can only see this traffic getting worse if I'm not on the M6. I had this on Tuesday, was it? I had this same problem where I had traffic on the M25 and I took a different route. Mark was behind me about 10 minutes and I got on and bloody there he was in front of us. And he'd gone through the traffic. Essentially, he just sacked the sat-nav off. The problem is it can be a gamble sometimes. Yes, the sat-nav can give you good information, but because it doesn't take into account the fact that the traffic's going to be worse on other routes, it does mean that you have to employ a certain level of common sense, which I will admit I've not got a lot of. I definitely don't have an abundance of it anyway, so yeah. The thing that makes all of this worse are the lane divers who just think today is a good day to die and just dive for gaps regardless of all of the other traffic that's like moving around them, and if there's an Arctic barreling down, or the people who are just sat texting, and then they won't look, they'll go into the back of someone and then they'll all get out, because obviously that's the best thing to do. Let's get out on the M6 to inspect what damage there is because someone was on the phone, rather than just going to the hard shoulder. Frustratingly, the end result of all of this is that I'm going to get probably one run in tomorrow, maximum. I'm not going to get much more than that in. This is another place where I was planning to record here, and I forgot how much they plaster the name everywhere. And obviously due to the social media policy and stuff like that, I have to try and hide it, which, yeah, definitely easier said than done. It's Friday, and yeah, I got to site last night. I didn't get tipped, obviously. I think it took me like 3 hours to do what should be like an hour and 15-minute journey. Yeah, I'd heard about this spot before I came in. I've been here a few times previously. In fact, I think I've been here for Dents. And that'll be going back a couple of years now. But basically, the kind of idea of this spot is they employ like ex-convicts, is that the right term? People who've been in jail, basically. And if I'm honest with you, I did come in here the first time with like misconceptions. Yeah, misconceptions? Again, am I making up words there? No, I'm not. Misconception. I think I'm not making that word up. And when I came here, genuinely, and I'm not joking, I actually kept the door locked, which is bad. But I just kind of thought, been in jail, bad. But now I've been here, and I've actually got to know the people here. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the friendliest site I go to, period. Everyone's absolutely lovely. No one's ever grumpy or in a bad mood. Yeah, genuinely such lovely people. And I feel a bit embarrassed by the fact that I had that kind of misconception of how they would be, who they would be. Because I had no real reason to think that. I obviously had no idea who these people were and anything like that. And yeah, they're lovely, like absolutely lovely people. I had this final Star Trek quote I had to work in, and I've been trying to work it out all week, but I think it works here. It's the lot of man to strive, no matter how content he is, which firstly, very hard to try and get into a vlog. But secondly, I think it does mean something here, because these are people that are striving to kind of better themselves and, you know, make their lives better. And I don't know, just who am I to come in with these misconceptions of these people, even though they're here trying to make themselves better? Don't know. I got a phone call from the boss before saying, your truck's in for its 6 weekly service. Wow, blows my mind how fast they come around. I mean, obviously I know they come around every 6 weeks because it's a 6 weekly service. Also as well, we take it to DAF. There is a Mercedes, but we don't take it to Mercedes. I don't know why. Always DAF. I always get really weird looks off people when I'm in the air. Of like, yeah, you're in the wrong place. Please don't shank me, daft people. And the last time I brought it here, and I swear to God, this is completely true. My boss, obviously massive thanks to my Patreons. All of you guys are amazing, but my VIPs, you've got Wayne, you've got Carl, Ryan, Simon, Ben. There's only 5, but I shall have to go off a list because I am just useless. But the rest of the guys, they're all down here. Look at them, how lovely they are. Yeah, just thank you so much. You're making the channel better and you're making me happy. Yeah, I should have think of something else then, but I couldn't think of it. And if you would like to become a Patreon and make me do stupid things on video, then firstly, you're an asshole. Secondly, yeah, sure, why not? There's a link down below. But as for the video, as for the week, we're done. It's, yeah, we're done. But thank you so much for watching, and we shall see you, yeah, next time.